Happy New Year, guys! So I wanted to share my top 5 tips on how to get motivated this new year and achieve your goals. Okay guys, tip number 1 is to write things down. Get yourself a planner or a notebook, whichever one works for you. My favorite is the Blue Sky Planner. It's got a really good monthly spread so you can go through each day of the month, write down your big events and cross them off as you go, but it's also got a to-do list for every single day of the week, which I like because I'm a student and I can write down my homework and any big deadlines there. But the most important thing is to really just get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper so that your ideas aren't cluttering up your mind, and so you can look back and make sure you're crossing off everything and not forgetting anything. Okay, tip number 2 is to create routines. Think about getting up each morning maybe 15 minutes earlier so you can wash your face, get a cup of coffee and tea, and sit down and go through your planner and plan out your day accordingly so you can maximize your time and be as productive as possible. And then before you go to bed, maybe 30 minutes before you go to sleep, plug in your phone, put it up, set your alarm, and do a face mask and sit down with a book, but try to get those blue lights from our screens out of your face before you go to bed, because we know that the blue light tends to activate our pineal gland, which produces melatonin, which helps you go to sleep. But when you've got that blue light going on, it can't produce that melatonin. So try to get your phones up maybe 30 minutes to even an hour before you go to bed. Okay, tip number 3 is to declutter and get organized. We've already got our planners or our notebooks to get our mind decluttered, but I feel that whenever my room or my office is cluttered and messy, I can't think straight, I can't get everything I want done. So make sure you pick up as you go, get your desk cleared, get your room cleared, make your bed when you wake up so that you can come home to a really clean and fresh room and feel relaxed and rejuvenated. Tip number 4 is to reflect. About a week ago, I went to a webinar on how to plan and how to get your life organized. And one of my favorite takeaways was this question that one of the leaders asked us. And it was, where do you see yourself when you are 80 years old? And the goal of that was to think about what steps we need to take to get to the point where we're 80 years old and happy. So maybe for us that seems like a long ways away, so break it down to maybe 5 or 10 years and see what your career goals, what your health goals, what your fitness goals are, and see what steps it takes to get there, and maybe set monthly or yearly goals so you can check in with yourself and make sure you're achieving those. And if not, maybe rethink how you're going about things. Reflect on your past year and see what you can do better. Don't be super critical of yourself because we're all imperfect, but the goal each year is to obviously get better and better and better. Tip number 5 is my favorite tip. It's also the hardest one to achieve, and that's to have a positive outlook on life, which means thinking about yourself and the things you do in a positive manner and not beating yourself up about the little things and thinking hypercritically about yourself. For example, this YouTube video is gonna suck. I'm so awkward. It just sets yourself up for failure, and it's just not a good way to go about your life. We have the ability to choose whether or not we want to be happy in life, and I think to be productive and to enjoy life to the fullest, we need to choose to be happy and think about ourselves in a really good way. And surround ourselves with people who help us grow and support us, and to really evaluate what is going to serve us to our greater good. Maybe there are things we're doing in our lives or people we're surrounding ourselves with that aren't serving us well, that they are negativity in our life and they're just an energy sucker. So think about the things that make you happy, the things that energize you, and the things that make you sad and stressed, and see what things you can limit yourself to or even get rid of, and things that you can do and make you happy in life. So yeah, that's my 5 tips. So catch you on the next one.